What if the only thing standing between a broken boy and a better life was one performance, one chance, and one song? In a world where every day felt like survival, he didn't dream of being famous. He just wanted his parents to smile again. But how do you keep dreaming when reality keeps slapping you awake? This isn't just a story, it's a mirror. And the question is, are you wasting your life while waiting for it to start? Why this story matters for English learners. This isn't a grammar lesson, it's a life lesson, disguised in English. You'll learn how emotions build language, not textbooks. You'll feel how stories unlock fluency better than any app. And you'll realize English isn't just what you speak, it's what you express when no one else understands your pain. Listen with your heart, not just your ears. Comment one line that hit you the hardest. Stay till the end. I'll guide you to a follow-up video that could seriously rewire your mindset.
Chapter 1. A Smile That Hid Too Much. Thomas Midongo Mass lived in a sleepy mountain village. He was known for his laughter, his bright eyes, and the way he always helped others. But what no one knew was that every morning he woke up to the muffled voices of his parents worrying about unpaid rent, empty shelves, and the slow collapse of their family. He kept smiling, because if he didn't, who would? But how long can a child carry the weight of grown-up problems? Chapter 2. A limp, a laugh, and a lonely boy. At school, Thomas noticed Peter, quiet, awkward, always walking with his head down and glasses fogged. Bullies loved him, and not in a good way. One morning, Thomas saw Peter trip again. Laughter echoed. Thomas didn't think, he just stepped forward. That day, he walked Peter to class. The next day too, and the next. Why do we only notice someone's pain when we finally decide to look beyond our own? Chapter 3. When Focus is a Luxury. Thomas was smart, curious, always asking questions. But his mind? It was trapped between fractions and finances. He couldn't focus, especially not on math, his worst nightmare. After school one day, he stayed back. He walked up to Miss Adams and said something kids rarely admit. "I'm trying, but I feel like I'm failing." Miss Adams didn't scold. She smiled. And in that small moment, Thomas felt seen. Not for his mistakes, but for his effort. Isn't it strange how the right teacher shows up just when you're about to give up? Chapter 4. When he overheard everything. Days passed and things at home kept getting worse. One evening, as Thomas sat quietly in the corner, his parents didn't realize he was listening. Words like divorce, debt, and failure floated in the air. He didn't cry. He clenched his jaw and stared at the ceiling. What do you do when your superheroes admit they are not invincible? Chapter 5. A poster, a prize, a possibility. A week later, a flyer fluttered onto the notice board. Local talent show. Grand prize. Enough money to pay off serious debt. Thomas froze. This could change everything. He rushed home, heart pounding. His parents, skeptical. What if you lose? We can't handle another heartbreak. But Thomas simply said, I'd rather lose trying than sit here doing nothing. When you have nothing left to lose, isn't that the best time to take a risk? Chapter 6. Strings, Songs, and Storms. His guitar had always been his escape. Now it became his mission. Every night, while others slept, Thomas played until his fingers ached and his voice cracked. He didn't aim to impress. He aimed to be heard. The night of the show arrived. The hall was packed. Thomas stood center stage and sang like his life depended on it. Because in many ways, it did. He didn't win first place, but when he finished, there was silence. And then a standing ovation. Sometimes the loudest victories come after the quietest pain. Chapter 7. A community awakens. He walked home thinking, I tried, that's enough. But the next morning, something unbelievable happened. Villagers started showing up with food, money, support. They hadn't just watched him sing, they felt his fight. Even the local shopkeeper who once shooed him away handed his parents groceries free. Isn't it beautiful when people realize someone else's pain belongs to all of us? Chapter 8. The boy who taught the village to speak. Thomas didn't stop there. He began teaching other kids, using music to explain English. Peter joined him. So did others. Soon the shy boy who once stayed quiet in class became the loudest advocate for expression, emotion, and education. He didn't just find his voice, he gave it to others. The line that changed everything. Years later, someone asked, Thomas, how did you survive all that? He smiled. I didn't. I transformed.
You see, survival is about staying alive. But transformation, that's about coming alive. And Thomas, he chose to live. Final message. Don't waste your life. So now I ask you, are you still waiting for a perfect moment? For things to be easy, smooth, or painless? Because here's the truth. Perfect moments don't exist, but decisions do. Decide to try, decide to speak, decide to grow. Because life will pass anyway. But meaning? That's something you have to create. Don't waste your life. If this story made your chest tighten, if it made your eyes blink a little slower, even for a moment, then let me know in the comments which part of the story truly hit you. And if you're ready to understand the real value of time with deep, powerful examples that stay with you, then this video right here on your screen is exactly what you need. Click on it and I'll meet you there. Let's keep growing together.